We got another event we're going to, and this one is an AI event, and apparently it's like their first event and it's their first chapter meeting. So I'm in this early on and I'm so excited because this is exactly what I've been looking for. And little background, I graduated with a degree in marketing, but I think I'm gonna have to make a career change. Just where the world is going, I don't know what's gonna happen to marketing, and AI seems the way to go. And so I want to put myself in the AI industry as soon as possible. And it's so hard in my city because I don't know anyone and my city is all automotive. Bro, I be complaining about it all the time. But I want to talk to you guys about content creation real quick. So in the past, when I used to come up with content ideas, I would come up with concepts. I would come up with the trends that are going on and try to like fit my own story in that trend. You do what everyone else is doing. And then it comes to a point where it's like you're spending your whole day literally just trying to come up with content ideas, trying to script things, trying to capture B-roll, trying to do all of this stuff that's kind of like unnatural in a sense. Like you're only going out for the purpose of getting B-roll. You're only going out for the purpose of capturing content. You know, sometimes people will do storytelling videos and they're changing scenery, always talking and stuff. Totally fine. It's just not my cup of tea when it comes to creating content. I've done that before and I just hated it. I hated constantly having to go out, go to different sceneries and spend a whole day on a production for a 1-minute video that's going to flop. Okay, let's be for real, a lot of effort. And not saying that all those types of videos flop, no, not at all. Like they do amazing. But coming from someone like me who just does not want to spend the whole day, every single day, scripting, recording. 1, you're not making money out of it. 2, it's not your full-time job. 3, like you have other priorities in life that system of content creation is a no. And people try to push that narrative saying that you have to make content like that, which is no. In my journey, when I first started, that's what I was taught. But then it comes to a point where now I'm a year in my journey, a year and a month into creating content consistently every single day. That's on Instagram too, by the way. Like YouTube, I'm getting better at it, and that's why I'm doing these vlogs. Like creating my fitness content and my self-improvement content on Instagram, I'm almost at 20K followers. And it's all from trial and error and figuring out what works for me. But now in my journey, I've come to a point where, yes, storytelling is important. Okay, if you're gonna be a content creator, you need to know how to storytell, but you don't have to storytell like how everyone else is doing with the whole production. My version of storytelling that I fell in love with, and I've always fell in love with, but I never explored because everyone said like no one was doing it, was documenting. What I'm doing right now on YouTube, and then I translate that into shorter clips on Instagram, that's documenting. That is natural content. There's no content that I need to create from my imagination. I'm creating content out of my present world and the life that I live in. And that's the content that doesn't make me feel overwhelmed. That's the content where I don't have to spend hours scripting to figure out a good hook and like to hook people into it. You know, my story and the way I communicate already is the content. And if you're in a position like me and you're trying to become a content creator, I think the first step is honestly finding your style of storytelling. I don't know if there's many styles, but right now the only 2 styles I know of is high quality, high production storytelling or just documenting and capturing B-roll on your documenting. Like me going to this event, I'll be capturing B-roll because I'm going to this event for the purpose of going to the event to go get a freaking job, and I'm documenting my journey of becoming my future self and how I'm getting out of this unemployment life, you know? But it'd be different if I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to this event just to get content. Like what? But there's people that do that. And so if you're a content creator, I really want you to figure out what kind of storytelling suits you. And if you're like me, who just does not like high production and the scripting, the best way I think is documentation and then building the skills of what it's like to create a good documentary. And those skills are your public speaking, the way you tell your stories in real time, the way that you are talking to your audience, the way that you're bringing your audience along to every single thing that's happening in your day, in your documentary, and what you're learning, and as if they're a part of your life in the moment and they're seeking knowledge from the fact that they're living your life with you. You know, that's what a documentary is. And to me, those are the skills that I would rather focus on than a high production film major type of editing, because that's not me. So that's like a little content tip for you guys. But I'm about 36 minutes away from the place I'm going to. I'm heading to Detroit again, heading back into the city. I literally only flip between two cities. It's either Detroit or Ann Arbor, and I'm flipping between the two, and that's where most of the events are. So I'm about 36 minutes away, and I'll see you guys there. It is 9 p.m. I got to this place at 6, so it's been like 3 hours, and I have to be up tomorrow at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. You know, I gotta go to the gym. I have to go to an event tomorrow, and I have an appointment later in the day, so I have to spend some time studying and stuff later in the day, you know, for the GMAT. But the grind, it's just temporary. I'm usually so good on my sleep schedule and everything, so but this was great. So this is a chapter that they'll be hosting events once a month, and I already met so many people who is willing to help me figure out like what I want to do when it comes into the AI industry, and also people who have knowledge and just being an entrepreneur. And you know, I have the corporate brain because that's all I've been trained. All of our lives we have been trained to work for other people, at least for me, and I've never been trained to work for myself. But there's always been, like, just looking at my past habits from when I was a child and everything, I always wanted to do things by myself. I felt empowered when I was creating something and I had a team. And when you step into the real world and you want to do something for yourself, you have to reprogram your mind, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm stepping into environments now with people who have the mind that I want and the mind programming that I want. And I've always, like, from a young age, said I want to do my own thing, I want to have my own business, and I don't want to work for anyone. And I feel like maybe that's why the universe has made me unemployed for 1 year. Like, I'm supposed to be on this journey. Like, honestly, like, dead ass, I'm supposed to be here right now. I'm supposed to be on this journey, and I'm supposed to figure things out for myself, and I'm supposed to bring you guys along. Because all my life I said I don't want to work for anyone, I feel like the universe is like, all right, well, you're now in your 20s. You've been saying you don't want to work since you came out of your mama. You're in your 20s now. You're 23. You graduated. Okay, you don't want to work for someone. Okay, figure it out. And so I am blessed to be on this journey, even though I don't have much right now. I'm just gonna have to keep putting myself out there and keep meeting people and keep collaborating with people, and just know that the universe has good intentions for me, and that the people who I'm communicating with also have good intentions for me as well. And I have to be very optimistic about what's going on. And like how I said, once you have a crash out, the come up is insane. And I had a crash out, I had an identity crisis, and now the come up is freaking coming up, and I'm excited to see where it goes, you know. And this also like makes me think about what I want to post on Instagram too. As much as I love fitness too, I also want to keep bringing you guys along this journey of just becoming my future self. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.